Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss about the varying current, growth current, decay current, LC oscillation and transformers. Okay, come to the topic. A varying current. What is the varying current? Okay, here current is varying with respect to the time. That is a varying current. Okay, how will when the key in a DC circuit, okay, containing a DC source of EMF, inductance coil, resistance and a capacitor is closed. The key in the circuit is closed or open. The current in the circuit varies. The current in the circuit varies. This is known as the varying current. So as it varies with respect to the time and takes the final values after the short while, that current is called as a varying current. In the circuit, the current varies with respect to the time, that is a varying current. Here how the current varies, it may increased or decreased. First we have to know what is the growth, increase of current, growth of current, how the current going to increase. We should know that, we have to remember the formula. This is very important formula, growth current formula we have to remember. Growth of current. Here this is a circuit consists of a resistor, a inductor, key and a source, EMF source. Okay. If key K is the key is closed at time t in the beginning, the current in the circuit is 0, that is I is equal to 0. After closing the key at the time t, let the current in the circuit is I. What is that current? That is the current I. For small time in the circuit, the current varies with respect to the time. That is called as a varying current. At the instant, either at 1 second, at 2 second, at third second, what is the current? That growth current is given by the formula. This is from derivation. No need to derive the equation. You should remember the growth current is given by in the LR circuit. In the LR circuit, growth current is given by I is equal to I naught into 1 minus e to the power minus r divided by L into T. So this is the growth current in the LR circuit, that is I is equal to I naught into 1 minus e to the power minus r by L into T, where I naught is called as a peak value of current, r is the resistance, L is the inductance and T that a time, instant time. So this is the growth current, and the corresponding graph is given by here, the graph of current versus time. Here as the time increases, the current in the circuit also increases, that is a growth current. At the particular time, the current is equal to 0.63 times the peak current. This is the peak current. Okay, at the particular time, the current which is equal to 0.63 times the that initial current, peak current. Next is the time constant. What is the time constant? Here the quantity, we know that L divided by R, this is the same dimension that of the time. Okay, hence we can term the ratio L by R is a time. Here the time is called inductive time constant, of LR circuit. Here L is a given a constant quantity, R is a constant quantity. If we take the ratio, we will get a one constant, that is a inductive time constant of LR circuit. At a time t, that is L divided by R. If you substitute the value of t as L by R as a quantity t in the equation of I, varying current, growth current, I is equal to I naught 1 minus e to the power minus R by L. Instead of t, we have to use R by L. Instead of t, we have to use the quantity L by R get cancelled, L get cancelled, we left with e to the power minus 1. If you substitute, if we take e to the power minus 1 as 1 by e and take the and cross multiplication, we will get e minus 1 divided by e. Substitute the value of e, simplify, we will get the current which is equal to 0.632 times the peak current, that is called as an inductive time constant. The inductive time constant of an LR circuit is the time in which the current grows from 0 to 0.632 or 63.2% of its maximum value. That constant of that time is called as a time inductive time constant. In LR circuit, at this time the current grows from where to where, from 0 to 63% of the maximum value. That time is called as an inductive time constant. Here, when time t became infinity, at infinite time, how much amount of current in the circuit? If you substitute the value of t in the growth current equation, t nothing but here infinity, anything, so we'll get a minus infinity. E to the power minus infinity is what? 0. We'll get the current which is equal to I naught only. We'll get the maximum current at infinite time. This is the time constant. Next, at this instant, we should know what is the potential difference across the resistance, and potential difference across the resistance and potential difference across the inductance. The potential difference across the resistance is given by, this is also varying with respect to the time, because current also varies, potential also varies. That is, the potential is given by across the resistor VR is equal to E into 1 minus e to the power minus R by L into T, where R is the resistance, L is the inductance, T is the instant time. And what is the value of potential? Across the inductor? That is given by, across the inductor potential is given by VL is equal to E into e to the power minus R by L into T. This is the potential difference across the resistance and inductor. And the graph of potential versus time. Graph of potential across the inductor versus time. Here the value of potential exponentially decreasing. This is the decreasing quantity, e to the power minus means that is exponentially decreasing quantity. This is the peak value of potential, and the potential going to decrease with respect to the time. This is the potential difference across the resistance. Okay. Now we move on to the decay of current. Here in the last we studied the growth of current. Here decay of current. When the source is in the increasing current, growth current, we are connecting a source and key is closed. We'll get the current in the circuit, that increasing current will get. Now the source is removed, okay, and the key is closed. Let the current has reached its steady state value I naught through the inductor. Now the switch K in the circuit is, as shown in the figure, has been closed. We have to remove the source battery and we have to close the key. Now the current in the circuit decreases. That current is called as a decay of the current. Here the decay current is given by I is equal to I naught into e to the power minus R by L into T, where I naught is the peak value of current and R is the resistance, L is the inductance, and T is the instant time. Here this is the formula for decay of current. In the previous we know the formula for growth current. The growth current and decay current formula we should remember, and corresponding graph for the decay of current is given by, if you plot the graph of I versus T, current versus time, we'll get the graphical nature as what? Exponentially decreasing curve. This is the decay current. At the particular time, that constant time, we will get the current which is equal to 0.37 times the peak current. This is the decay current. Now we move on to the concept LC oscillations. What are oscillations? We know that in the last year the oscillation is nothing but the quantities which are changing periodically. Here this is a circuit consists of a capacitor and a inductor connected to a switch. Here capacitor is charged. This is the charged capacitor. When and it stores the charges, and here the energy stored in the form of electrical energy. Here electrical energy is stored. Now the switch is closed. The switch S is closed. What will happen? The charges stored in the capacitor, they are going to discharges. They flow across the circuit and they constitute the current in the circuit. And here this is going to what induces an EMF in the inductor. Now the energy stored in the capacitor, that is electrical energy, is going to convert in terms of a stored magnetic potential energy in the inductor. Stored magnetic potential energy in the inductor. As the entire charges in the capacitor get discharged, okay, then the entire electrical energy, stored electrical energy in the capacitor is converted into a stored potential magnetic potential energy, stored magnetic potential energy in the inductor. And then the energy is now stored in the inductor. The entire energy is transferred to the inductor after a few seconds. Then inductor having an energy, that is stored potential energy, magnetic potential energy around the L. Now it is transferred to the capacitor. This is transferred to the capacitor once again. That is, now the capacitor going to get the charges and the direction of the current is reversed. Now the entire energy stored magnetic potential energy is converted into electrical energy in the capacitor. Entire energy transferred to the capacitor. After entire energy transferred to the capacitor is get fully charged, and once again it is going to discharge and transfer to the energy to the inductor, and the process continues. Here the oscillation of the energy takes place, that is called as an LC oscillation. The frequency of the LC oscillation is given by frequency f is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi into square root of L by L into C. This is the frequency of LC oscillation. Frequency is given by 1 divided by 2 pi into square root of L, C, where L is the inductance and C is the capacitance. And what is the total energy of LC oscillation? And it is given by the total energy. Here energy is stored in two ways. One is in terms of capacitor, another energy is in terms of inductor. Here electrical energy is stored, here magnetic potential energy. That is, total energy in the LC oscillator is given by the potential energy in the capacitor plus potential energy in the inductor, magnetic potential energy in the inductor, and it is given by, in the capacitor energy stored is given by half Q square by C. In the inductor the energy stored is given by half L I square. We studied in the previous chapters. This is the LC oscillation. You should remember the formulas. Now we move on to the transformers. What is a transformer and what is the use? Okay, a transformer is a device for converting high voltage into low voltage, very important for converting high voltage into low voltage, and vice versa. Clear? Without a change in power, that is called as a transformer. We are using in our daily life, we saw the transformer in our uh, towns, that is in a step down transformer. And what are the transformer they are using in the power stations, power generating station? They are the step up transformer. Here there are two types of the transformers: step up transformers and step down transformer. What is step up transformer and what is step down transformer? A step up means increase. It converts a low voltage into high voltage, that is the step up transformer. Step down transformer, it converts a high voltage into low voltage. Clear? It converts high voltage into low voltage. Step down transformer are used in our towns, okay, and step up transformer used in the power stations. What is the principle behind this transformer? The principle of the transformer is, it is based on a mutual induction. It is based on mutual induction, and transformer always works on AC. The input is applied across the primary terminals. Okay, we'll go in. There are two terminals, primary terminals and secondary terminals. The input applied across the primary terminals and output is obtained across the secondary terminals. That is the principle. What is the principle? Based on the mutual induction. Mutual induction, and the input is given to the primary, applied across the primary terminals, and output is obtained across the secondary terminals. This is the principle of the transformer. We know that mutual induction in the electromagnetic induction chapter, that is because of the varying magnetic flux in the one coil produces the induced EMF in the other coil. Okay, that is called as a mutual induction. Now the ratio of number of turns in the secondary and the primary is called as a turns ratio. Number of turns in the primary coil and number of turns in the secondary coil. Okay, the ratio of number of turns in the secondary coil and the primary coil is called as a turns ratio. We know that transformer consists of two coils, primary coil and secondary coil. The ratio of the number of turns of the secondary coil to the number of turns in the primary coil, the ratio is called as a turns ratio. The turns ratio that indicates the transformer is a step up transformer or step down transformer. Next we are going to study. Okay. Here the ratio is given by ns, number of turns in the secondary, divided by number of turns in the primary, is equal to turns ratio indicated by letter K. If EP and ES are the alternating voltages. Here alternating, this is the potential voltage across the primary, this is the voltage across the secondary, and IP and IS are the alternating currents across the primary and secondary terminals respectively. Then the ratio, the potential across the secondary to the potential across the primary is equal to number of turns in the secondary divided by number of turns in the primary. That ratio is termed as a turns ratio K. From derivation we will get that quantity which is equal to current in the primary divided by current in the secondary. This is very important formula, the turns ratio formula. That is, the potential across the secondary by potential across the primary is equal to same quantity, that is number of turns in the secondary by number of turns in the primary, which is nothing but turns ratio, but the current is here reversed. Okay, the current in the primary divided by current in the secondary. Efficiency of the transformer. What is the efficiency of transformer? That efficiency is always defined as output power divided by input power. Here P output divided by P input, that is E output power is given by potential into current, that is given by ES into IS input is given by potential into current, that is EP into IP. That is the efficiency formula for that transformer. The comparative study of step up transformer and step down transformer. Step up transformer and step down transformer. Step up means that is going to increase the potential voltage. Step down means that is going to decrease the potential voltage. Hence, the potential across the secondary should be greater than the primary, but in the step down that is going to decrease. First we will get the number of turns potential across the secondary is less compared to the potential across the primary. Next, number of turns in the secondary should be greater than the primary. Number of turns in the step down, number of turns in the secondary should be less than the number of turns in the primary step down. But current is reversed here. The current in the secondary is less. Current in the secondary is less compared to the current in the primary. But in the step down transformers, the current in the secondary is more compared to the current in the primary. From this equation we come to know. And K ratio, the value of K is greater than 1, which means that is step up transformer. Number of turns in the secondary greater than number of turns in the primary. Here number of turns in the secondary and number of turns in the primary, if Ns is greater than Np, then the value of K greater than 1. And in the step down transformer, the turns ratio is less than 1. This is the transformers. Now we move on to a small topic, that is a power loss in a transformer. How the power loss takes place in the transformer. There are 5 ways, that is copper loss. What is the copper loss? It is due to the resistance of the winding of the primary and secondary coil. Because of the winding that based on that coil, there is a loss in the energy loss, that is called as a power loss in the transformer, that is called as a copper loss. This is also called as a resistance loss. Next is the iron loss or eddy current loss. What is an eddy current or iron loss? Here the primary and secondary coil, they are wind over a core, iron core. When the varying magnetic field and varying magnetic flux linked with the core, that core induces a current that is called as an eddy current. That eddy current is nothing but the heat loss. That loss can be reduced by using the laminating the iron core. We are going to reduce that eddy loss. Here we have to use the less resistance coils. Okay, we have to use to reduce the copper loss. Next is a loss due to the leakage of the magnetic flux. Here what are the magnetic flux linked to the coil? The entire magnetic flux, they are not linked with the secondary coil or primary coil. That is called as a loss due to the leakage of the magnetic flux. Next one is hysteresis, loss due to the hysteresis. The area under the hysteresis curve that indicates the hysteresis loss. This is due to the repeated magnetization and demagnetization of the iron core. Because continuously we are going to magnetize and demagnetize because of the varying potential, the current is going to varies. That leads to the magnetization and demagnetization of the iron core. That is called as hysteresis. Next, the power loss is due to the humming loss. This is due to the vibration of the core that leads to the loss, that is the power losses in the transformer. By taking proper care, we are going to reduce these losses. We have the transformer with the efficiency up to 70 to 90%. It is not 100%. Only for ideal transformer, the efficiency is equal to 100%. This is about the transformers.